harmony. That was fantastic. Thank you very much. I'm sure that everybody in the hall will remember your performance this morning. It was really fantastic. Nothing less than fantastic. I would like to tell you that when I was about your age, I started listening to this composition played by Rubinstein in concert, in live performances. He played it always, every time, in every recital. He loved to play it, and we loved him to play it. And I remember his magnificent performances, which you certainly can find online. I also heard this composition throughout my life many, many times. It's very often played, as you know, and very much loved. I also happened to be a few times, 3 times or even more, and on the jury of the Chopin competition Warsaw. And you can imagine that this was the most often performed piece in the competition. So I heard it a million times. And I heard it played differently, but I never heard it played more delightfully than you. So thank you very much. That was really... When you did all your magic and filigrane moment in the Andante spianato, I thought, okay, she has got this little magic. But let's see what happens in the Grande Polonaise brilliante. And then came the Grande Polonaise brilliante, and you showed your willpower and personality and artistic flair and brilliance and incredible technique, and also double octaves with your small fingers, which is almost incredible. So, yeah, God bless you. It's really fantastic. You know, this could be also the shortest possible lesson. Just thank you very much. Let's go home. But I would love to spend some time with you on stage. I'm sure that will give me a lot of happiness. And we still have 5-10 minutes, so let's try to do a few things. If you ask me what could be improved, so I would say maybe mandatory, sometimes articulate more here. These kind of things, I'm sure that you don't have to show it to me. I know you can do it. And you want it to be in a flow, in a kind of a schwung, in a kind of incredible fly, but inside you can articulate well. And sometimes in the Grande Polonaise brilliante you can play a little bit more top voice and articulate more the top voice and maybe slow down a little bit, few passages. And I'd like to tell you about a lesson that I used to give to my students and former students in situations as such that must be done only in a hall, not in a studio. Because in the studio what you do is good enough. But in the hall there are some different rules, and especially large halls, and this is not so large. So for instance, I give you an example. I will go to a very large hall and my student will be on stage, and then I will sit in row number 40. Yeah, the last one. And the student is on stage, and I look at on stage, and he's so small, so far away, and he can hardly see me in the darkness. And then he plays the theme of the Grande Polonaise brilliante, and then when he finished, or she finished to play, I say, you have to do this a little bit here, like this, and she says, what? I cannot hear you. And I said, sure, you have to do a little bit more left and more. And she says, but I cannot hear you. Can you speak more clearly?
Why do I sit at the last row?
Because if you cannot understand what I am saying to you from the last row to the stage, then I cannot understand what you are telling me from the stage to the last row. You know, it's the same distance both ways. So there are different rules for that. If you speak in a large hall, there is reverberation, echo, sounds come from everywhere. So we need a little bit different timing, and what we hear here is not enough. We used to say about Mr. Horwitz or so on that he used to play for every crack in the hall. He could feel what's going there. So I would say the know-how to perform in large halls, to balance well for large hall, not for a small, and articulate top voice more, and maybe sometimes slightly slower without losing the fly. What I believe that I would like to spend some time with you, as I said, for my personal pleasure, maybe to look few things in the Andante spianato, not in the Grande Polonaise brilliante, and maybe we'll look a little bit at the accompaniment of the very, very beginning. This is still so high. Somebody was here yesterday so high. So, if you take most of the nocturnos by Chopin, you see that they start right away with a melody, not with accompaniment. In very, very few cases, he starts with accompaniment. And if he starts with accompaniment, he starts with half a bar or 1 bar. You remember how many bars of empty accompaniment we have here in this Andante spianato? 4 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a lot. So long. Actually, I don't recall any other composition by Chopin with 4 bars, empty accompaniment, without. I don't remember it also from Beethoven or from Schubert. So they don't do it. But Chopin did it here. So let's do it once again. Why do you think he did it?
To have more of a background so that when the melody comes,
So when the melody comes, we are ready. The melody is ready from the oven. And another reason, I may suggest to sense the tone color of G major. G major is a very unusual and beautiful and poetic tone color. Remember this? What do you feel when you have this tone color of G major and this open accompaniment? What kind of emotions do?
Feels really relaxed and gentle.
Yes, what else?
Reminds me of a serene landscape.
I said before nocturno. Nocturno because it has a melody, an accompaniment, a relaxed melody, and free variation. So the art of the Andante spianato is an art of nocturno. But nocturno is evening or night music. How about the Andante spianato?
I think it's more like in the evening or something.
You feel evening?
Or probably in the morning, something.
Thank you. You know, in this game, morning or evening or night, everybody is a winner. Because if you feel it is night, then it is night. I cannot argue with you. There is no point to argue. But I can only share my emotion with you and tell you that I feel it is morning. Why morning? And I'm happy that also you feel it is morning. Why morning?
Because it's like the sunrise, probably?
Yes, it has sunrise element, and also this kind of innocence. The evening is always somehow tired and with moral and thinking and maybe deeper, and this is very high. It's like a morning song, and the air is still fresh, and it's not very warm and not very sad or anything like this. No regrets up till now. Just the innocence, the Apollonian. I know you are going to ask me what it is. I'll explain to you later. Beauty, just beauty for itself. So, left hand accompaniment. Would you do it? I will try to practice the left hand sometimes in two hands and play it like this. And my hand distribution will be, or maybe asymmetric, so ta-la-la, ti-li-la-la-la, ta-la-la-la-la-la, ta-li-la-la. But as I said before to Mingu, this is a kind of information we should think of and never inform the public that we do it. It's just a way of flowing, because it is repeated 4 times by itself, so it must be interesting by itself. Maybe create also little crescendo, decrescendo, 2 bars crescendo, 2 bars diminuendo, and little inner details. Very beautiful, beautiful. Another trick that I will do is when I start, I will not jump on it in the last minute, but I shall start raising my arm very, very slowly with a very slow upbeat, and that will help my left hand play better. Okay. If you start too early, then you find yourself like the ballerina in the air. So you will calculate like a good violinist how you want it. But you do it at home. So that can help a lot, the preparation, get into this fresh wind of the morning, not too much wind. I also feel that the form of the accompaniment could be like in a little barcarolle, little waves, maybe not the ocean, not the sea, but a lake or something like this. So we enjoy very much the little waves, and the waves are little, and the melody is like a swan, and so on, and then at 1 minute it is there is a huge wave. So all the time the waves are small, and then this huge wave, like in the painter Okusai wave, that it goes just like this. Yeah, wonderful. And when you come to this, the spray of water can shine, and you see many colors. The sun rays go through this, so you can have a lot of fantasies. And I would like to ask you, what is the time in the morning of this composition? I know the time. I know exactly the time. You know how much it is? 7 o'clock.
But
Why? Because this D is repeated 7 times by Chopin with an accent. Can you try to do it? Yeah? Yeah, from here? Okay. Now, this melody is beautiful, but you will notice that Chopin wrote the accent on the D, which not always we understand why the accent is on the D. So first time we have 4 Ds, T, 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 T. Second time we have 7, so maybe the time after all is 7 o'clock in the morning, and we should make these accents on the D, which is kind of difficult. Would you try to do it? Yeah, but if you do the accent on the D, then you do it less on the melody. Can you focus only on the D? Yeah, only D. D, 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 D. Yeah, so my idea of performing it will be first time you do the melody like da la li lo lo. Second time you tell us it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and then you don't do the melody and you do the 7 accent that Chopin wrote on the D, which is a kind of unusual accents by Chopin. I am afraid we have to finish. I can see the clock here, and I would like to tell you only in the little mazurka here. Don't make this mazurka lilt 2 times. So do it here more like a choral. And now, and again, nothing now. And now. So one time you do it, one time you don't do it. So if I sing it to you, it will be not 2 times the same, okay? Yeah, and maybe second time you don't keep the pedals, so you get this. So you have a choral, and then. So the choral is, thank you God for this beautiful 7 o'clock in the morning. It's really fantastic. So. And then again. And now very dear and very pure. Here, you can play it like 10 years old girl. Can you do that? Okay. So here is good. No pedal now. Sure, and now the 10 years old. And the 10 years old girl must not do too much rubato here, not here she's good. But I feel I should not tell you how to play like 10 years old. Should I tell you?
You can if you want.
Thanks. Harmony. How can I thank you for the wonderful playing. It's really been a great pleasure to be with you. Thanks.